Hello, and welcome back to Hearthstone. Um, I was gonna do a welcome to my inn thing, but no. Um, it's been a while since I've done Hearthstone, and unlike before, I am not gonna be doing, Arena, but instead I'm going to be doing, ladder climbing. Um, so, this is the start of a new ladder season, season 4, I think, of Hearthstone, after open beta. Um, after the closed beta. Anyways, last season I made it to about rank 10. I think that's what they're called, ranks. Not legend, before anyone gets confused. No, not legend. The normal 25 ranks. I made it to about rank 10. Um, before the last season ended. And honestly, that was without really trying too hard. Um, so, I guess the first thing is, I'm going to show off the decks that I'm going to be using. So I have 3 decks that I would consider at least somewhat viable, at least at the ranks that I had been playing at. These decks, with some tweaks, could also be completely viable in the current meta. I've beaten every single deck that I can think of that's usually played in the current meta, so it should work pretty good. So the first and foremost is the deck that I play by far the most. I call it Value Spell Mage, or Spell Value Mage. It's a mid-range mage deck. It's got a Malagos in there just for fun. Even though, in all honesty, Malagos is pretty good to help against control decks, just to help finish the game off. Malagos is one of those things that, one, it's good with a mage because you have the option of turn 10 Arcane Missiles Malagos. So you get a 4/12 on the field with essentially a Battle Cry, deal 8, Battle Cry, use Avenging Wrath, which is a Paladin Epic card, which is also really, really, really good. It's mostly really good because of equality, but anyways, it works pretty well. If you then have 2 fireballs in your hand and you happen to have that on an empty board, if Malagos is up at the next turn, you've just done 30 damage over 2 turns. Because the fireballs then do 11. It's actually kind of impressive. However, he may or may not stay in the deck. I have played this deck as well with just 2 Boulder Fists instead. And in all honesty, I found that it might work a little bit better. I've tried a whole bunch of different variations on this deck. For instance, I tried recording yesterday and failed miserably because the footage got corrupted, but I used to have knife jugglers instead of the sorcerer's apprentices, and that reminds me, I don't know if I said this already, but I have not spent a single cent on Hearthstone, so every single card and whatever that I have, I've gotten from packs, or crafted using dust. So, like I said, I've tried experimenting with the Sorcerer's Apprentices or Knife Jugglers. That version of the deck also uses, instead of the Arcane Missiles, the Mirror Images. The one card that this deck I feel I really want to have in this deck is Antonidas, the Mage Legendary, which I might as well just show off what he does if I actually had him. So it's whenever you cast a spell, put a fireball into your hand. So that's obviously pretty strong. It's pretty slow. It works better in control style decks, which is what this deck ends up being. At the moment, it is kind of an aggro. It really is a mid-range deck. The goal is to have a good play on every single turn and get board advantage early and keep it. The idea is to have, good things, threats, and answers at every stage of the game, be able to react what your opponent's doing at the same time as making things to make your opponent react. It's really got good minions at every single turn, and it's got at least halfway decent spells at every single turn. I might also, it's not a might, I will post a link below this video of what I'd kind of like the final deck to look like. If I had all the legendaries and all that. most of the additions to this deck would happen after getting Antonidas. So yeah, but for right now, I mean, this deck works really well. And like I said, it's the deck that I played by far the most. I guess I'll go... You know what? You know what? I'm just gonna do some games on the Mage and come back to the other decks as I play them. I'm feeling like using some spells to kill some people. Sure. Actually, this deck is more minion heavy than my Druid deck, but whatever. You might have been able to see from my deck list what the other three decks were. They're a Zoo-style Warlock deck, so a Warlock deck with lots of 1-drops and essentially just a whole bunch of minions, and you just keep the pressure going the entire game. How you do that pressure varies from Zoo deck to Zoo deck. There's actually many different opinions on what works the best in a Zoo deck. And it also depends on, you know, what matchups you're going up against. In fact, we'll probably see an example. That is a really good starting hand. Man, if I was going second, this would be insane. I don't see a reason to throw any of that back. This is probably going to be Zoo, if I'm going to be honest. There's two main variants of Warlock at the moment. There's Zoo and Handlock. Handlock is a more control, slower style deck. Yep, this is Zoo. Admittedly, it may be some kind of weird Zoo as well. Oh. I forgot to play Mana Worm. I am an idiot. Wow. Wow. Can I just say that that turn would have been a lot more impressive had I not forgotten to play Mana Worm? On turn 1. See, this is... This is why I don't want to do arenas. Because arenas actually matter a lot for how many cards I can get. And how quickly I can get cards. Okay. Turn 4 Water Elemental. The other reason why I skipped turn 1 is I'm so used to playing I've played my Druid deck a lot more recently, and my Druid deck doesn't have any turn 1 plays, so... Unless it's going second.
One shot, one kill.
You know, I don't care if you use your, You know what? Limit the amount of times that he can use, tap. That may be a mistake, but, I mean... I've got board control against a Zoo on turn 4. This is incredible. Unless it's not really a Zoo. It might be some kind of odd mid-rangey deck. I've also seen some Zoos that try to run like Sea Giants as well, which are dead cards if you don't have board control. Wow. So, my conclusion from that is either he has a horrid hand, or he's got other things in his deck that aren't Zoo cards. I think Golem hit. This is not a normal deck. Whatever he has, it is not normal.
For the crusade!
That was his top deck. What in the hell does he have in his hand? What the hell does he have in his hand? Yeah, no, I don't have lethal, but... This is a little bit of a mistake, but potentially. Screw it. I'll hit it twice. I should have fire blasted there. I shouldn't have spent all the mana on playing minions, but especially because this now dies horribly to Hellfire. But if it is a zoo deck, he won't be running Hellfire.
The light protects me.
Did he just get, like, extraordinarily unlucky on draws? And I win. Cool. Yeah, I overwin. Okay. Oh, right. I don't know why I thought I needed more damage there. Okay. Well, there's a bad start to that game, but I pulled it out. Let's go for another one. Sure. One more. Iglees. As you can see, this deck is pretty strong. However, he didn't put up as much of a fight as he should have as a zoo. So, yeah, I really think that he just got extraordinarily unlucky. Okay.
Jade versus
Yeah.
Malfurion.
Maybe he just got... because he didn't even...
You asked for it.
Going second. Against Druid. I don't think I want the Sun Furies. Okay. Coin Apprentice into Apprentice, or Coin Apprentice into,
I wonder.
nah, Coin Apprentice, sure. It's less weak to other things instead of the Berserker. Come on. If your play is just hero power, you're gonna have a bad time, I think. You know, I wasn't planning on it, but I think the Sorcerer's Apprentices would actually work pretty well in the what I picture as the final version of this deck. Yeah, the cost reduction would help a lot with both Malagos and Antonidas. I like the Nightlife Juggler too. So it's just hero power. Nice for me. I think I get out what would be more pressure on the board. I can always, you know, help replenish my hand if something goes wrong here. It also means that the chance of me losing both of these guys is lower than if I had the second apprentice out. Not that I think he could actually use 3 mana to kill both of them. Well, okay, innovates. Ah, that was a top deck. So he's gonna have 5 next turn. Druid of the Claw, probably.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Yeah, sure. I've forgotten how much fun those were.
Who you want me kill?
Me?
There was some merit to frostbolting him to keep him from using his hero power. Not enough, I don't think, but, swipe. That's probably not what he wanted to do. Moonfire. Interesting. Well, all indications are that I think saving the missiles is probably worth.
Me?
Do I frostbolt him? It's more worth it to get this with Malagos, or get it to kill something against Zoom. I could get this up to a 3-3 and do 6 more damage to him. I don't have enough burn in my hand to sustain that. So I think just Fire Blasting Face is good there. Also, then run my hand out of answers if he clears my board. So.
I must safeguard the land.
Yeah, play that and Frostbolt this. Or Frostbolt this, ping it. That's 4 mana. This is a... Nah, it's better to get this guy out on the board. And the next turn, should probably have the spell power Frostbolt to clear the Keeper. That's better. And it also means I can play Yeti with that, too.
Where shall I strike?
Charge. Alright. Respectable. Nah, I still frostbolted. The plan essentially remains unchanged. I just don't still have my 4/4 on the field. 4/4 spell power. Plus the 4/5 Yeti.
Where shall I strike?
I think that's worthy of a fireball. Fireball Golem. Alright, so burn that I've used has been Fireball and Frostbolt. Not like this deck is supposed to be a burn deck, but it does help to know at what HP you can finish an enemy with a top deck.
Pay attention, class.
I am ready to learn.
Double Innovate Power, another Moonfire.
I am ready
Alright.
to learn.
I wonder if this is that Malagos Druid deck that I've heard about. With the Moonfires, it might be. I really need to kill this. Can I? With a incredibly lucky missiles. Yes. That's not even worth trying. With spell power and pinging off one of those guys, though, it might be. Alright. I need a better answer. Ah! 2 missiles should be enough. Alright. Beautiful.
Time runs out on you.
There we go. If he plays big guy, I got a polymorph. What? Okay. So he just uses that as AoE. That's respectable. I was about to be like, wait, did he just kill me? I'm like, there's no way. He doesn't have the cards. Ooh, good top deck. Yeti, and there's the Malagos. I just used both missile stuff. I can't die at this amount of HP, so I think I just played the Malagos as a 412 in this situation. And hope I draw into the other spell damage stuffs to be able to finish him off. Any spell damage card would win me the game assuming Malagos survived. And Druids don't have a particularly good way of dealing with Malagos. So, to be honest, any of the ways that I can think of outside of, you know, Moog of the Wild, Big Game, not Big Game Hunter, Black Knight, which this deck doesn't feel like it would run. Any combination besides that, I would be happy with him using to get rid of Malagos. He might also just come to the conclusion, hey, you've used enough burn that you may not have any in your hand. Of course, if I had any and Malagos survives, he's lost. So,
Waits for no one.
yeah,
Sorry about that.
I think just playing around Malagos is probably good. Scare him, maybe win on a top deck. If he doesn't, you know, just... What? What? There's no way. Ah, yes. Beautiful. GG. Alright, so I think that's gonna wrap it up for right now. And I'll get out of here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.